Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're gonna ride the hype for the upcoming job release of Taekwon. Um, there is no estimated date yet when the job is gonna go out, but before that, I'd like to share with you 9 not so obvious things to know before going to the new job. Or maybe not. Maybe you've heard this somewhere else, or maybe you already could have figured this out. But yeah, we'll go through them nonetheless. Before we start, again, thanks to Team Leaks for data mining and translating all of the advanced stuff. Um, again, without the work of the team, none of this would have been possible. Also, I've used a lot of snippets from the infographics that eulb created. I'll put the link to his post in the description below if you want to read through all of the skills, descriptions, and runes of the upcoming Taekwon job. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's get started. Okay, like what I said, 9 not so obvious things, or maybe you already know them. Again, these are things that, based on the game files and coding and some testing, we can say would happen, right? I mean, of course, it may still change when it does come out, but as of today, these would still be valid. Okay, first one. Comfort of Sun and Moon uses day of month, and so does Piece of Stars. So one thing you may have noticed about Taekwon is that some of the skills that they have is dependent on the day. And like for Comfort of Sun and Moon, for example, it has two effects. One if it's an odd numbered day and one if it's an even numbered day. But then that begs a question, right? I mean, what number is attached to a particular day? Like, for example, Sunday could either be 1, which is the first day of the week, or, maybe if it's August 3rd or August 4th, even if it's Sunday, then it's the 3rd or 4th day of the month. Okay, so looking at the code, the game uses os.date. In Lua, it actually returns a value of 1 to 31 for days. So that tells us that these skills, they use the day of the month. So basically, if it's 1st of August, 2nd of August, 3rd of August. Next, Warm of the Stars rune third line, the one pertaining to Cosmic Fusion. The damage is applied on each hit of Warmth of Star. So the actual translation, even the original Chinese one, is a little bit iffy, because it just basically says, Warmth of Star can trigger a single cosmic fusion without HP loss. So what does that mean, right? Does it include the no miss portion of cosmic fusion? But yeah, based on game codes, what it does tell us is it's the HP reduction of the enemy that gets triggered. So when they do get hit by Warmth of Star, it triggers the HP reduction percentage. This one does not work for PvE, because in PvE you just get damage increase. But the code that's being used, if it's for PvE, which is NPC ID equals to 0, then the damage is 0, and it doesn't really apply the damage increase. Number 3, Nova Explosion HP loss is multiplied by crit chance. So Nova Explosion has a secondary damage, which is basically it takes your luck multiplied by the multiplier and then multiplied by the crit chance. Yes, it's chance, not damage. So taking a closer look at the buff code, you see here A is equals to negative luck multiplied by 1.5 plus crit per minus crit res multiplied by skill level multiplied by A multiplied by the rune value. This could have easily been a mistake, because if you look at the actual code, there's just so many entries for crit. So crit per, for example, is a chance to crit. Crit res is a chance to avoid crit. Crit dam per is percent crit damage, and crit def per is percent crit damage reduction. I can easily imagine a new guy making the mistake of interchanging these variables when writing the code. So yeah, but as of now, unless you change it before launch, Nova Explosion will get amplified by crit chance. Okay, your percent chance to crit, creeper, and it can be reduced by your enemy's crit res, which is basically the percentage on to avoid crit. Okay, number 4. Piece of Stars protects you from space silence. Okay, for any PvPer out there, probably know that space silence is one of the most notorious debuffs in the game. It makes you stop. It actually makes your allies around you also stop for a considerable amount of time. And so it's good to know that Piece of Stars actually protects you from space silence. Unlike other skills that protects you from abnormal statuses, this one actually uses attribute effect 25. So attribute effect 2, 25. Okay, there are several attribute effect tables. Attribute effect 1 is a value from 1 to 12, which represents freeze, stun, sleep, bleed, all of those basic statuses. Attribute effect 2 is used for a wider range of buffs/debuffs. So Piece of Stars uses the same value as Professor's remove buff when it's cast on an ally. So which means it would protect you from the same statuses that remove buffs protects you from, which again includes space silence. Number 5, Vientiane Starfall Stasis stacks up to 25 layers max. So the slow that's included into Vientiane Starfall. Okay, I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation. I know Vientiane is a place in Laos, but I'm not sure if my pronunciation is correct. Okay, the maximum layers it can stack is 25. So as you see in the buff code in there, limit underscore layer equals 25. Number 6, Come On has a hidden bonus attack of equals to strength multiplied by 5. This isn't so surprising. Actually, normal attacks have a bonus. So auto attacks have a bonus of strength multiplied by 5. It's just a little bit odd because generally that's being included for normal attacks. And the description for Come On doesn't exactly tell you that you'd also get that same bonus. And so this one is applied to Flying Kick, Roundhouse Kick, Axe Kick, Nova Explosion, Flash Kick, and Vientiane Starfall. Basically everything that uses 19301 as a damage computation. And so yeah, the normal attack bonus from the skill itself is here. So that's normal attack. And then the bonus from strength is added. So 5 multiplied by the value of strength. Another good thing about this is that normal attack actually is added before your multipliers. And so, okay, this can be a good or a bad thing depending on whom you're fighting. But basically, this gets multiplied by your attack percentage, by the size modifier, element modifiers, race modifiers, your penetration. Basically, treat it like your regular attack. Number 7, False Ignore range physical damage does not work the same as Flee. Okay, probably expected this already, but yeah, it's pretty much like Auto Guard or Magic Flee, wherein it's a fixed percentage and it really can't be countered by hit or other parameters. And so when you do get the total value of the effect of fall, then you roughly have a certain percentage where long range damage will not hit you. Number 8, Anger of the Sun is final damage. Probably expected this already. The description never mentioned it explicitly, but yeah, as you can see in the code, it's represented by Sun Hate. And as you can see, this is the first section of final damage, and then it gets added afterwards. Don't ask me why they've been separated. To be honest, it has no difference. I mean, even if you just append it on the first line, not sure. Doesn't make the code any cleaner, but it is what it is. Okay, last, number 9, Astrology Resonance Guardian can reduce Twisted Time Bomb damage. Uh, Another notorious skill from Chronomancers is Twisted Time Bomb. It's not being used so often right now in competitive PvP, but in Yo-Yo, probably almost all of the time. I mean, I do die from this a lot of times. And Twisted Time Bomb is painful because there's only really very few ways to reduce the damage. I mean, even if I have a lot of magic damage reduction, it's really not going to do anything around it, right? I mean, one of the main ways to reduce the damage is, again, refine um, or equipping a Ghost Ring card. But yeah, at least for Taekwon, if you do get the skill, you will get a certain value in Result Dam Res. Result Dam Res is a subcomponent of Result, which is basically applied at the latter end of the formula that either amplifies or reduces the end damage. And so as you can see in Twisted Time Bomb, because it's buff damage, it's added here as well. And so yeah, there's a lot more that this skill reduces the damage on. I just opted to call out Twisted Time Bomb because it's one of the notorious ones that really have very limited ways of reducing the damage. Okay, that's it. Pretty quick, right? So these are the 9 things you probably already knew them, or maybe you didn't know them, that the game doesn't explicitly tell you about Taekwon. If you do have any questions, or if there are other things you want to see or learn about Ragnarok Online, please hit up the comment section below or reach out to me on Discord. Thanks, everyone.